In this video, we're going to teach you how to do conditional counts and conditional sums, which I think you'll see are very important. We're going to learn about many functions: COUNTIF, COUNTIF-S, SUMIF, SUMIF-S, AVERAGEIF, AVERAGEIF-S, count function, count blank function, and count A function. So that's a mouthful, but I think you'll see these functions follow a pattern and they're incredibly useful. So let's look at the file rock. And what we have here is the singer of a song, the date the song was sung, and the number of minutes in the song. And so what you probably want to know is how many songs were sung by each of these singers: Eminem, Cher, Mandy Moore, Britney Spears, John Mellencamp, Madonna, Bruce Springsteen, and Barry Manilow. So that's what I mean by a conditional count. Count how many times Eminem appears in the singer column. Now I named each of these columns. We've talked about how to name ranges, singer here, etc. So we'll use the function wizard here, which we haven't used, to make it easier to learn the syntax of these formulas. This little fx is called the function wizard. So if I want to know how many songs were sung by Eminem, it's COUNTIF is the function. So I can go to all here on the function wizard, type the first few letters of the function, COUNTIF, and then just follow the syntax. This is very useful for learning new and unfamiliar functions. Now the range was the singer column, and the criteria would be the name Eminem. So I just can point to Eminem there. If I would type the name Eminem, I would need quotes around it, but Excel put quotes there. So what that really means to Excel is, in the singer column, tell me how many times you saw the name Eminem. So basically, if I drag that down, I can get how many times we saw each singer in the singer column. So Barry Manilow 114 times. Recall, when you name a range, it's $sign, so you don't need to $sign it. Now the whole thing in this function wizard for COUNTIF, if you are in a cell with that, you can see what happens here, is how you define criteria. And there's some more complex criteria we should go through. But COUNTIF does a single criteria. We'll deal with multiple criteria with the COUNTIF-S function shortly. How many songs were not sung by Eminem? Well, basically, it's the singer column, and the way you do not equal to in Excel would be quotes around a less than or greater than Eminem. Okay, so basically, that means not equal to Eminem. And you need the quotes because the less than or greater than and the name of the singer basically is text. That's why the quotes are around that. Excel requires quotes around text. So that counts every song that was sung not by Eminem. Okay, how many songs were at least 4 minutes long? The criteria here is the greater than or equal to 4 in quotes. And it's in quotes because basically the greater than or equal to sign is text. So that goes to the minutes column, counts how many entries in the minutes column were greater than or equal to 4. How many songs were longer than average? This is the trickiest one. So you count the minutes column and you do greater than in quotes. They use the and or concatenate sign that with the average length of a song, which is in G5. Okay? You might think you would put quote greater than G5 quote, but then Excel doesn't know that G5 is a cell reference. How many songs did the singer's name begin with S? You say COUNTIF in the singer column and you put in quotes S with basically an asterisk after that, because the asterisk can represent any character after the S. So that would count Britney Spears and Bruce Springsteen songs. How many songs does the singer have 6 letters in their name? Well, you would take the singer column, then you put in quotes 6 question marks, because basically that means any 6 characters are okay. So that would count Eminem, it would count Britney Spears, and those are the 2 that would be counted there with 6 characters in their names. How many songs were after June 15th, 2005? You look at the date column, and if that was greater than June 15th, 2005 in quotes, then you would count those entries. And that has to be in quotes because the greater than sign is text. How many songs were before 2009? The date has to be less than or equal to New Year's Day, New Year's Eve 2008. And then we've got that in quotes because of the less than or equal sign. How many songs were exactly 4 minutes long? We do COUNTIF the minutes column. We put a comma 4, no quotes because 4 is just a number. How many songs were 5 minutes long? COUNTIF the minutes column if there's a 5 there. What about the next one? How many Bruce Springsteen songs were 4 minutes long? Can't use COUNTIF because COUNTIF deals with a single criteria. We need COUNTIF-S. So we can go to the function wizard. COUNTIF-S can deal with up to 256 criteria. So if I go to the function wizard and just follow the prompts here, I will type COUNTIF S as quick as I can. And there I go to COUNTIF S. Now you just follow the prompts. So we would take the first range was the singer range, and the singer's name was Springsteen. Now I don't need quotes when I use the function wizard. You'll see it puts in quotes. Hope I can spell his name right. Springsteen. And then the second range would be minutes, which we name that column 4. So what that means to Excel, criteria range 3 is unnecessary because we're going to stop there. Every time you see Springsteen in the singers column and 4 in the minutes column, you're going to count that range, that cell. Okay, and then we can see what that looks like. If the singer is Springsteen and the minutes is 4, then basically count that row, and there are 24 rows like that. How many Madonna songs would be 3 or 4 minutes? It would look like this. If the singer was Madonna and the minutes was less than or equal to 4 and greater than or equal to 3, and those have to be in quotes, count those rows, and the answer there would be 70. Now this file has a couple of other functions that are much simpler. Count, count A, and count blank. Let's focus on this range of cells. No particular reason. Okay, so the count function counts how many numbers in a range. Think of Sesame Street, the count counted numbers. So I have B5 through C14. How many numbers in that range? 9. That's what's counted. Count A counts everything that's not a blank. How many non-blanks in that range? 9 numbers and 9 texts. The answer is 18. Count blank counts how many blanks in that range? The answer is 2. Okay. Now let's talk about conditional sums. We need a different file for that. The file will be Makeup 2007. Okay. So here we have my daughter and her friends. We'll make this a little bigger. Selling makeup. My daughter's name is Jen. Here are her best friends. So we have the name of each person. We have the date they sold the makeup. We have the product, lip gloss, foundation, eyeliner, etc. The units sold in the dollars. So now we want to do conditional sums. For example, we want to know how many dollars did Emily sell. In other words, if you add up everything in the dollars column where the name is Emily, what would you get? And the function we use for that would be SUMIF. That does conditional sums with one condition. So again, the best way to learn this is go to the function wizard. So I would type SUMIF. Okay, and now the name of the range we're using there, we name these ranges so we don't have to point to them, is the name column. And the criteria would be the girl's name, in this case Emily, it puts the quotes in, and the sum range will use the dollars column. That adds up everything in the dollars column where the name column had Emily. And I can just double click and copy that down or just drag it down to copy. So that's for CC. Notice the name and dollars column are like they're dollar signed. Now what are some other examples of SUMIF? And then we'll get to multiple criteria sums and averages. How many units are returned? That's tricky. What's a return? A negative number in the units column. So if you look at the formula, you add up the units column if the units column is less than 0. Less than 0 is in quotes because the less than sign is text. Put a minus sign in front of that to make all the minuses a plus. That adds up every negative number in the units column and makes it positive. How many total dollars sold 2005 or later? You add up the dollars column if the date column had a date on or after New Year's Day 2005. How many units of lip gloss sold? If the product was lip gloss, add up the units column. Lip gloss must be in quotes there because we didn't point to it and it's text. Okay, dollars not sold by Jen. Remember that less than and greater than trick. If the name is not Jen, add up the dollars column. Dollars of lipstick sold by Jen and average units of lipstick sold by Zeret. Now here we need to do something different, okay? Because that's multiple criteria. Okay, so that's going to be for lipstick dollars sold by Jen. What does that mean? Every row in which the name is Jen and the product is lipstick, add up the dollars. That's 2 criteria. So we can use SUMIF S. S means more than one criteria. So I can go to the function wizard and just follow the prompts as your easiest bet. So if I can type fast enough, I can go to SUMIF S. Oops, I didn't type fast enough. There we go. So I got sum there. I'll just scroll to SUMIF S. Okay. So just follow the prompts again. Okay, the sum range is going to be dollars here. We're adding up dollars. The first criteria range is going to be either the name or the product. Let's do the name. So the name is Jen, and it's not case sensitive, so I can type small letters. It'll put the quotes in. And then the product was lipstick. Now, if I click OK, that should give me the right answer. Okay, and look at that formula. Add up the dollars column if the name is Jen and the product is lipstick. Those rows would add up to $39.53. Now, one more example. Let's do an average if-s, a conditional average. What does this mean? Average number of units of lipstick sold by Zerit. Take every row which the product is lipstick and the name is Zerit, and then average the units in those rows, which means take the total number of units divided by how many rows, which is a sum if-s divided by a count if-s, but average if-s is much easier. So I go to the function wizard. I probably can't type fast enough, but I'll start typing average. Then I can go to average if-s. And the average range would be units in this case. The first criteria could be name, that row. The name range contains all the names. The criteria is Zerit. Caps don't matter. And then the product, again, I think is lipstick. And so what that formula says is the S means more than one criteria. If the name is Zerit and the product is lipstick, average the units column. Now, here's one more example of that. If lipstick dollars were greater than or equal to $100 and they were sold by Jen, how would you add up that total? That means it's got to be lipstick, it's got to be by Jen, and it has to be greater than or equal to 100. Well, you'd say add up the dollars column if the name is Jen and the product is lipstick and dollars is greater than or equal to 100. Now, you could also do less than 100 just by putting that on the end. An average number of units sold by Jen. That could be an average if without the average if-s because there's only one criteria. Okay, average the units if the name is Jen. In summary, in this video, we've learned about many functions to do conditional sums, conditional counts, and do overall counts such as count A, and count blank. And the next video will introduce you to a really cool Excel type of chart called the sparkline chart that can be used to summarize many data sets at once.